Hey guys, Save Alive VGC here, and welcome back to more Players Cup 4 match analyses on the channel. Today we're here for round 6, I believe, versus Hayden. And it's one of those things, firstly I want to apologize, I forgot to click start recording at the beginning of this game, so we're about 2 turns into it already. I will preface that as soon as we get into the game here. But first off, like I said, round 6 versus Hayden, currently sitting at 3-2. Back is still against the wall, we've won 2 straight. But let's get into things here. So basically, as this Venusaur finishes up its Dynamax here, I let Incineroar Amoonguss into Venusaur Dusclops. The Dusclops got put to sleep, and now I'm probably about to parting shot. They're going to click the Max Quake button here. Very smart play. Max Quake going into this Incineroar after they Earth Powered me on turn 1. I guess maybe they're predicting a taunt. I don't remember, but they did Earth Power me turn 1. Thankfully, the Earth Power plus the Max Quake did not take me out, which is honestly shocking. Based on what their team is here, it is basically similar to what I played last game, only now it has the element of Sun. So I think it's like Glacier, Trick Room. I think there might have been a Thunders as well, but I don't actually remember. We'll check in team preview afterwards. But right now we've got a Venusaur and a Dusclops to deal with. This Dusclops is of course asleep, and Dragapult makes its appearance on the field right now. Sludge Bomb here was just kind of the chip stuff. They do wake up with Dusclops, which is a little annoying, but I believe I also taunted it, so it's not too big of a deal. So Dragapult going for gonna eat that Nightshade, and Dusclops kind of still forced into that. I have to go after it. There's no difference there. That's a smart play on my end. It's basically I'm gonna outpace. Amoonguss is not a threat of dying. Amoonguss is just does such a good job versus the P2 Venusaurs. In this case, Dusclops Venusaur. Like if they go P2 Venusaur Torkoal or P2 Dusclops Venusaur Torkoal, Amoonguss sits here. Like Amoonguss literally sits here. They don't get room up ever. Like, okay, there's times they get room up if I'm like, okay, let them get trick room up, I can play around it, right? But like generally they don't get trick room up, and it just does such a good job of hindering this Venusaur game mode. It's absolutely ridiculous. So I get the free max on Dragapult here. I forced the Dynamax from their Venusaur earlier on. I have the extra turn of Dynamax, and I get free Phantasms off now, right? I have no reason to boost my speed. They're not putting me to sleep right now. I don't need to go fast. I can go Phantasm into an Airstream if I need to go that way. So this is fine. I spore the Dusclops again. It goes back down to bed. Phantasm goes out into Venusaur. Gonna do a good chunk of damage as well. Like, it always amazes me how much Phantasm damage actually does. Like, you'd think, oh, it's not even super effective, but not even gonna do 50%, and then it just goes out and it does like 60% to something, and it's absolutely ridiculous. But they correctly ooze into the Amoonguss here. But like I said, guys, this game is very straightforward for me. Outside of, I believe, I don't remember if there was a Thundurus or if it was the next turn next team that had the Thundurus on it. But chances are, if I was leading Incineroar or Amoonguss, there was no Thundurus. Although I did that last game. But if you guys did miss out on that last game, feel free to go check it out. I may link it if I remember. If I did, it'll be above me right about now. But yeah, if that's the case, I'll link that. But with that, like I said, we're in a good spot. This Dusclops is asleep. It's one of those things where I just kind of get to sit here now and pick the mon I want to pick off. I'd expect Venusaur to protect personally, which is why I didn't actually target it. I think I spored the Dusclops again in case it switched. Did I hit the Venu? I did hit the Venu. Okay, I still think that's the correct play. They're actually going to switch out to Dusclops, and I'm going to start putting things. Yo, we get the Torkoal. When you get the Torkoal to sleep, and this is why I like Amoonguss in this format. It does such a good job versus this kind of Sun mode. Like, they're forced to try and get the vines up here. That's not going to do a whole lot of damage. I'm going to kill the Venusaur, and now they've got a Dusclops asleep and a Torkoal that's asleep. Right? And that's the problem with Sun, is the guessing game, so to speak, right? Like, are they going to sleep powder? Are they going to max? Are they going to get aggressive? Are they going to play defensive? But when I eliminate that immediately with the lead based off the safety goggles and the Amoonguss being on the field, and I can safely spore them, it really kind of limits on what they can do, right? Like, as you can see there, they kind of had to Dynamax, right? But we're going to get the big old spore off here. We're going to spore the Torkoal. And, it kind of just forces their hand. And when you can force Sun players' hand to do something that you can really kind of counter, that's what you want, right? Because what makes Sun scary is, like I was saying, that versatility. It's, are they going to sleep powder? Are they going to max? Are they going to set Trick Room? Are they going to do this? Are they going to go body press with Torkoal? But when one, in open team sheets, you can kind of see what they have, and two, I'm just clicking Spore. Like, I'm literally sitting here clicking Spore. Here I think I opted to go for the Rage Powder. And speaking of Spore, I didn't want to get greedy and just start chucking a million Spores. Right? Yes, this Glacier can't max right now, so all I have to do is really realistically get chip damage onto it, and my Urshifu in the back is going to be able to clean. Right? I also technically have Incineroar for 1 turn if I chose to use it as an Intimidate. Like, I can basically bring it in, Intimidate something, let it go down to the vines, and that just repositions me, right? I opt for the Rage Powder because I didn't want to get greedy and start sporing everything. Is Spore the correct play, like Airstream Spore? Yeah, probably. But Phantasm is still a really solid amount of damage here. They can really only go for some sort of Icicle Crash here, and Torkoal is guaranteed to turn asleep, right? So, this is perfectly fine here. I did think I misplayed this endgame a little bit, but the Icicle Crash is going to come out. I am going to lose my Amogus. Of course, no way Amogus was ever going to live that. Now, I think the better play would have been to protect Amogus and max Wormwind. I don't know why I never came up with that play in the moment, but I guess Phantasm makes sense in case they were. Oh no, never mind. I did not have enough HP. Rage Powder was 100% the right play. I take everything back, but I literally have a 2 HP Incineroar. I have to go Ursh, I think, right? And never mind. As I say, I have to go Urshifu. I bring in Incineroar. So I guess I'm bringing Incineroar here, like, which it makes sense, right? I want to Intimidate onto Glacier, but the problem is it's one of those things where now I'm losing my instant because of the vines are still up. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that on mine. Did I chuck this? You know, looking back, I am awfully close to chucking this game in the bin right now. Unless vines are over, because vines could very well be over. I don't think they are though. I'm pretty sure there's 1 more turn of vines. And if there is 1 more turn of vines, I think I have to fake out and reposition my pull. And please tell me I did that. Please tell me I repositioned my pull here. Okay. I mean, I can tell you what I was thinking in this moment. Is that 1 more turn of vines won't kill me, but vines plus life orb will. So if I Phantom Force, right, they're going to want to reset the Glacier. So if I Phantom Force into that slot, it will catch the Dusclops, which you should see it get here. And basically, it was one of those, like, one final hoorah, right? Like, you know? If basically Glacier stays in, I flip with it, it dies, and then Dusclops is the mon that has to take the attack anyway. So basically now the question is, does Dusclops survive this Phantom Force? Does Dusclops survive the Phantom Force, and is Dusclops actually going to switch back out? Because that's a really smart pivot as well from my opponent's end, right? This Torkoal's -1 defense. I don't think it really wants to do much right now. The question is, can I kill this Dusclops? That's the problem. 2 more turns of Sun, as you see me checking right there, but the problem is the Sun. I am actually going to go after that. Actually, it's -2 defense, isn't it? It might, yeah, it's -2 defense, so it's going to die to this CC. But this basically comes down to, can I kill Dusclops here, or is Dusclops going to get the Trick Room up? Dragapult's going to go Phantom Force. Phantom Force is going to go out. It is going to go just shy of hitting the Dusclops here, which is super, super unfortunate. Basically, I need Dusclops to stay asleep. We're going to get the CC out, though, and CC, this is a problem, because now I lose defense, and now Glacier comes back in. If this Dusclops wakes up and can do something with this turn and get like a Trick Room up, I'm in a lot of trouble. Dusclops thankfully remains asleep, and now I think because of that the game is over. Although the vines make this interesting, right? What does this Glacier have here? So basically Dusclops has to click Trick Room, right? So I kill the threat, right? I kill the Glacier here every day of the week. I kill the Glacier. Right? If I target the Glacier here, this Dusclops really can't do much. Right? Yes, the Dusclops gets Trick Room up if it decides to wake up right now. But I kill the Glacier, and then we deal with this anyways at the end game, right? The Glacier is the mon that's going to potentially kill me this turn. So let's deal with that first and see if I can endgame this Dusclops. I don't think it has enough recovery to actually be able to endgame my Urshifu here. I think it's a little bit too low. They do decide to wake up, and they do go for the Trick Room, which I think is the wrong play, personally. I think they needed to Pain Split there. Personally, I think Pain Split gives them a chance, right? Like, they Pain Split Urshifu, get the health back, and they probably get a good chunk of health, probably close to 50%, right? Yeah, sure, I killed the Glacier, right? So they're back up to 50%, And then I think they can go for the Trick Room and maybe have to, and at that point they just have to take 2 Surging Strikes. But thankfully they don't do that, and we do get that Aqua Jet to finish off. But that was a terrifying endgame. I don't think I played that very well. But just Amoonguss honestly just gave me enough there to finish that endgame off well enough. But thankfully we're good. I don't think this was straight Sun. I know it was Sun Glacier, which is weird. I'm pretty sure there was still a Thunderous on my opponent's side of the field. Could be wrong though. But let's actually take a look together now, because I don't honestly remember much about this set. Yeah, there was a Thundy. Okay, I'm not crazy. So it was basically they had the Sun mode, the Trick Room mode, or the Thundy mode, right? And it's weird, right? Like, do they go Thundy? I like this play a lot on my end. I really think this is a smart adjustment for me here. Basically, if I lead Incineroar into Thundy, at least this way I have the Dragapult beside it. Right, so basically, okay, go ahead and lead Thundy. I'm going to lead my Dragapult here, and I should be able to pivot around no problem, regardless of what you do. Like, I believe I would actually let Amoonguss as well, right? So basically, if I'm not giving the Intimidate, your Thundy's not killing Amoonguss, I have free Spores. And, like, I look at my opponent's team. Amoonguss outside of Trick Room outpaces Dusclops, outpaces Torkoal. And probably speed ties, I'm assuming, this Glacier. Because it's probably a Trick Room Glacier, probably wants to be pretty close to mid-speed. Right, just on first glance, right? And then look at the things I don't outspeed. What I don't outspeed is Venusaur, which is not a threat to my Amoonguss. Landorus, okay, granted, if it does decide to max Airstream, it's going to hurt, but I have a Cobra Berry, so I can get a Spore off. Thundurus, it's going to hurt, yes, but I have a Cobra Berry and I can get a Spore off. So basically, Amoonguss is 100% safe here to basically sit around and have its way with this game, which I think is really solid. And like I said at the beginning of Game 1 here, that Amoonguss is kind of the Sun answer, you know? It eliminates a lot of the questions that Sun brings, right? And especially looking at Hayden's team here, like, I don't know. I just feel like if I can position my Amoonguss well, this is the confidence I need. Right? And they're actually going to go with the Thundy Venu, which I'm not entirely certain I agree with. Like, I get the concept. They're trying to... Basically, this is obviously to counter my Instant, which I wasn't going to let them do. But it's kind of one of the things where... Yo, did I actually get greedy? Yo, I got greedy. Let's go. But it's kind of one of the things where basically, is the Torkoal switching in and are you going to Sleep Powder? Right? Now, I would imagine the Torkoal does switch in here, but I don't remember too much. So I basically Dragon Dance and Spore. So my concept here is that Venusaur is probably going to go, worst case scenario, Venusaur is going to click Sleep Powder into Dragapult. Right? I can't really kill Venusaur if they decide to, you know, switch in Torkoal, if they decide to Dynamax, and I don't really want that. And I also don't want to Dynamax, have them switch in Torkoal and put me to sleep. So I make this somewhat safe play where I Dragon Dance, and I'm surprised that they Sludge Bombed. It's respectable, yes, but at the same time here now, they just gave me a free Dragon Dance. Like, I see what they're going for, right? They want to chip me down maybe into range of a max Airstream, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it's the play to me, and I think I just Phantasm here, and I think I just opt to drop the Venusaur. So basically the play here is I'm Wormwinding. So I Wormwind, and the concept here is that, yeah, okay, it's only going to put Thundy to +1 speed. Dragapult will still outpace this Thundurus if it decides to Dynamax, so that's not a problem at all. The Wormwind will connect, it will go into this Venusaur and just drop it 100% of the time. If they want to switch into something like a Torkoal or into a Dusclops, I'm really not concerned about it. It's going to go down. But we'll see what they go for. They actually are going to switch out this Venusaur, so they do go for that. And we are going to get this free Wormwind damage up, and that's going to go into Clops. Part of me wishes I would have Phantasm, because it would have just been a knockout clean. But that would have also allowed Thundurus to get the +2, which is not what I want. Right now, I'm content with it being at +1. You know, +1 Thundy isn't the scariest thing in the world. It's a little concerning. But beside the Cobra Berry and the fact that my Dragapult is going to remain faster as well, is literally perfect. You couldn't ask for more than that. We're going to see a max I don't actually remember. We do see the max from this Thundurus, and I think I just let my Amoonguss go down here. But we'll see. I'm pretty sure it just goes into Amoonguss with an Airstream and I die, because I give it the +1, right? That would be the way I remember this game, and that would be the correct play for my opponent, I think, taking out that Amoonguss, because the Amoonguss is what's concerning my opponent, right? Like, once he gets rid of the Amoonguss, he has the mind games again, right? He doesn't have to worry about spores. He doesn't have to worry about, you know, me clicking Rage Powder. He can kind of just have his way again. And I'd agree that taking out Amoonguss here is probably the right play. But we're going to see. I don't actually remember too much about this set. But this is what happens when you record for a million times. And the post-recording is weird, right? Because you play so much during the tournament. And you already sets are starting to get fuzzy. And then you start to remember everything in the post-game recording. But as you see, Amoonguss does go down there, which, as expected there. So that's just the right play on both ends, I think. I think this was fair on both ways. Could I have Phantasm and got a huge kill on Dusclops there? Yes. But that risked the fact that he was maybe going to target Dragapult, and I didn't want to lose Dragapult. Dragapult was too important. So I think I'm forced into Urshifu now. And this is one of those things where I think I just Phantasm and drop the Thundy. I think that's the right play because then a Surging Strike will take out the Dusclops, right? I'm faster than the Thundy. I'm at +1. +1 Dragapult is terrifying. If they have a little bit of bulk, they might live, but I'm sashed anyways, right? Like, go ahead and let me be sashed. I'm sashed. I'll take whatever Thundy goes for if they decide to survive. Yeah, I might lose Dragapult, but I'll stop the Trick Room. So, Thundy, gone to the +1 Dragapult. Dragapult is an absolute beast when they give him that. When you give him a free Dragon Dance, it's disgusting. Like, it's actually disgusting. Like, Dragapult with a Dragon Dance is disgusting. But anyways, that can drop that Thundy. And this Surging Strikes, now that this Dusclops is at -1 defense, we're banking on picking up the knockout here. And I'm assuming it will. And looking at that first strike, at 100% will. So, I think I win this on that Dragon Dance turn 1. I'm going to be completely honest. I win this on that Dragon Dance. I don't know what else I'm supposed to say. I don't know any other evaluation. I mean, I took a gamble. They could have easily switched in Torkoal and put me to sleep. And I didn't want to risk my max, right? I basically said, they didn't even bring Torkoal, which is even funnier. So I wouldn't, like, and now I just close combat and Phantasm, this is the game. Right? Phantasm picks up the Venusaur. CC goes into this Glacier when it's at -1 defense. And they don't even have a max to potentially save the game here. Like, it might not kill Glacier, but I'm pretty confident a -1 CC going into a -1 defense Glacier is going to pick it off. Like, this game's all elementary now. I got the lead right, and I got the turn 1 right. And I got the turn 1 right with a huge momentum boost and a Dragon Dance. Had they maybe sleep powdered me, I think this game is completely different. I don't think the game is over though, because like I said, I don't burn my max. Right? I don't burn my max at all. And if they sleep powder Dragapult, Amoonguss is around and can probably, I don't know if it survives the next turn, but I can probably protect Amoonguss to allow it to survive the next turn. I don't know. Either way, I think the big thing is I got the Dragon Dance up. I got the turn 1 right, and I just kind of swept from there. Like, there's really not much more to say. I hate to sound like, you know, there wasn't a lot of thought process in this game, because that turn 1 was scary. I'm going to be completely honest. That turn 1 is always terrifying. And looks like I actually ended this video quickly, so before it loops, I am going to pause it here. But it is, I don't know. It's just one of those things where, I don't know, I just felt in control of this game the entire time, especially after they didn't sleep out of that Dragapult. I don't know if I like the matchup because it is still a guessing game, right? Like, if they go Thunderous mode, which they did, if they would have gone Thundy game 1, I think game 1 would have been a lot scarier. But with that, I mean, we're back up to 4-2. So now there's, you know, before at 1-2, you know, you're kind of sitting there going, oh, there's no hope. You know, there's not a lot of anything really going on here. You know, gonna have to win 6 in a row to potentially have a chance. Now I've won 3 in a row, and sitting at 4-2, you know, it's one of the things where, you know, if I can just, you know, maybe win the next one here, then all of a sudden it's only 2. Obviously, you got to take it one game at a time, but you know what, we'll deal with that tomorrow in the next video. But right now, guys, this will be it for round 6. If you guys do enjoy this content, please feel free to subscribe or leave a like so you don't miss out on more. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys tomorrow for round 7.